All right, I think we should be live. How is it going, everyone? I hope you guys are doing all right. Obviously, nobody's in the session yet, but I'm just about to send out a few links here and there. Free Telegram channel will be first. So, if you haven't yet joined the free Telegram channel, make sure to do so. There's the links in the description below this stream or below this video if you're not watching live. But what we're going to go through today is again the major instruments that we normally look at. So obviously, including euro dollar, pound dollar, gold. And so we're going to check out what kind of do we have any trading opportunities, right? Let me just double check my sound and make sure
So
that
we're going to
everything is
check
clear.
out what kind of do we have any trading opportunities, right?
Okay, I think we should be fine. Should be fine. You guys let me know if the sound is good. Um, you know, if the picture is good, so we can obviously carry on. But yes, because I'm looking at the chart, and to be honest, even if you're trading against the trend, there are still some trading opportunities. Okay, obviously when we're talking about the lower time frames, but if you are a swing trader, um, I can argue that we have even better opportunities than the day traders because we're gonna get a good entry levels hopefully soon. Okay, so I'm gonna go through that in just a second. Okay, okay, nearly done. I'm also gonna post or share the link on X because sometimes we do have some people joining in from there. I'm not really very active on X. I should probably be, um, but there's time for everything, right? Okay, I think I'm pretty much done. Yeah, to be honest, I do like what I see here on the higher time frames. And I feel like we may get some good entries soon. Okay. In fact, let me check out the economic calendar and see if we have anything going on next week. Okay, so let me do that. Let's check out next week's price. Next week's events. So 23rd of June, is that correct? Yeah, that's right. That's Monday. 23rd of June. All right, not much going on Monday. Um, we've got Powell's speech right here on Tuesday, but it's not supposed to be anything major, I believe. GDP on Thursday. Okay. Yeah, so we may actually see some movement towards the end of the week, but nothing major really. Okay, so what does that mean for price action? Well, hopefully we want to see a continuation to the upside here on euro dollar, on pound dollar, and even on gold. And what I shared in the premium Telegram channel about 2 hours ago was that I think gold may be the one that's going to give us the entry sooner. Okay, because for now, short term, I am expecting for this whole pullback to continue maybe a little bit lower. Okay, so ideally, to be honest, because I really would like to see price coming down a little bit lower, we're looking at the level right here around 1.38. So if you manage to come and test 1.38, then we're going to be looking for that reversal. So what does that mean? It means that short term I wouldn't do it. I'm not looking for those kind of positions right now, but you could potentially look to sell here. Okay, why would I not do it? Well, it's just because I have a clean setup on the higher time frames. I know that the market is bullish, obviously, and this is the main market direction. So it means that I'm going to be going against the main trend. Now I do trade the lower time frames as well, don't get me wrong, but the way I trade them is, let's say price comes down here, okay, gives you a reversal, and then on the way up, once it's confirmed that we're going back bullish, on the way up I may be looking for buying opportunities on the lower time frames. So I think this is how you should be trading them as well. Whether it's the 5, the 15-minute chart, whatever it is, okay? Because trading with the main trend is obviously uh, it's going to improve your win rate. It's as simple as that. But anyways, so hopefully we see price action coming a little bit lower, because we are now pretty much testing this level right here. If you look at that on the 1 hour chart, you can clearly see that we're going for a break and retest of this previous structure. So let's see how it goes. We may see that reversal here. So, this is why it's so tricky to trade against the trend. Okay, even though you're expecting to see a pullback, you now have this level right here. You also have those levels down here, which are actually Fibonacci retracement levels from the higher time frames. So you've got a couple of important levels. Now, if you want to go short, how do you know that price is not going to reverse at this level? Okay, if let's say you want to take a short trade down to those previous lows. Well, you don't, because you are in an uptrend. So price could easily turn around, reverse, and go back to the upside. And so that's why I'm not going to be looking to take a sell trade, even though I'm expecting from current price levels, we're talking about 70, 80 pips of a downside move that we could potentially see happening. Okay. So, there is a setup here, but it's not a position that I would take right now. Moving on to pound dollar. Well, right here, I've already got the Fibonacci placed. And the 61.8 is 1.3327, right? Now, with the help of the news yesterday, obviously, this is why we're looking at those pullbacks. But that's just a healthy pullback, okay? I mean, if you look at the daily time frame, here is the uptrend that we have. What a massive uptrend, right? So it's like I said, it's a healthy pullback. Obviously, as long as we don't break below this daily low right here at 1.3140, and as long as we stay above that, it's fine. Let price pull back, let it give us better entry points. Because when you're looking at the 4-hour time frame, if let's say you get an entry around the 61.8 level, price then gives you that reversal just by the time that it reaches the previous highs. It doesn't even need to break above those highs. But by the time it reaches the previous highs, you're already going to have a positive risk to reward ratio. And again, current price levels around 1.34 down to around 1.3327. We're talking about, again, 70 to 80 pips of potential move to the downside. Am I going to be looking to take a short trade? Not really. Because again, if I want to trade this on the lower time frames, and pound dollar is actually the pair that I probably trade the most. But if I want to take a trade on the lower time frames here on pound dollar, I'm not going to be looking to take a short trade towards 61.8. In fact, I'm going to have to wait for price to give me that reversal at the 61.8. Of course, if it does, because we can't know for sure. And once we see that continuation to the upside, now this price action right here, I can drop down and trade on the 15-minute time frame, or maybe the 5-minute time frame. Okay, but basically I am trading the lower time frames in the main trend. So this is how I managed to increase my win rate on the lower time frames. You guys should know. I mean, if you have been trading for a while, you probably know that. But for those of you who haven't, if more than 95% of traders lose money, we're talking about traders that, trade any strategy, any type of market, well, probably the stock market is a little bit better, but especially the Forex market, you get more than 95% of market participants that are losing money. Trust me, those that trade the lower time frames lose even more. So a big percentage of that is basically scalpers or day traders. Because it takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of discipline, and a lot of fast reaction as well. Okay? So I would argue that day trading or scalping is a lot harder than swing trading. And I've said this many times before. So anyways, looking down the 15-minute time frame, okay, so we are going to be expecting 1.3327, 3330 for price to reach. So let's say, okay, I wanted to draw a straight line. Can't really do it, but anyways, let's say price comes up here, retests the previous structure, gives you, another rejection, and then you have a bearish close here. Well, then that probably means we're going to be looking for a move towards 1.3330. Okay. And then down here is where I'm going to be looking to join in the market. Of course, if I have good enough confirmation. All right. So the levels that I'm mentioning right here. Okay. So for example, on euro dollar, we're talking about 1.1380. All right. I should probably place a horizontal level. 1.1380. Okay. Maybe a little bit lower. Maybe we can take out that previous structure. If we do, and then we get that reversal, this is going to be a perfect setup. I'm not going to lie. So the levels that I'm talking about, 1.1380 on euro dollar and 1.3330 on pound dollar, we're not using pending orders at those levels. Okay, we want to see price coming down here, testing those levels, and not only that, but we want to see some rejection, either a rejection wick like this, one of those candles, or maybe a reversal where price breaks above previous structure on the lower time frames, and it basically gives you that reversal. Okay, so if something like this happens at that level, then we can consider entries. right? Otherwise, we have to wait for price to give us the end of that whole pullback. So for now, we don't have it, okay? And that's why I'm expecting short-term bearish continuation. And then moving on to gold, okay? I think this is probably the one that is looking. I just feel like we're gonna get the entry here much sooner. Why? Well, you know, we've had this type of price action right here. Price kind of slowing down after coming from above. Okay, so we've got an impulse to the downside. Then we're trading, you know, fairly bearish, but very slowly. Then we've got the breakout. We're now testing the 61.8 fib level here on gold. Even if we come down a little bit lower, maybe around 3,330, I'm still going to be expecting that reversal. And those 70 to 80 pips on euro dollar and pound dollar may take longer compared to gold. Okay, because gold can really drop very quickly and then reverse very quickly as well. Not that the majors can't do that, but we've seen it happening on gold many times. So watch out for price action here. Even at current price levels, if you look at the 15-minute time frame, I mean, that's not good enough, what we have, but let's see how it goes. Because if we start forming up consecutive higher highs and higher lows, eventually we can come up here and, you know, break above the beginning of this momentum. Because if we break above that, maybe even break above this most recent high, well, then we're going to be looking for a continuation even higher. But, you know, right now it's not the time to enter any long trades. What we see right now is just not good enough, even though the last 1 hour candle had a pretty decent rejection here at the 61.8, but that's just not enough. Okay, so let's see how it goes. But yeah, I'm definitely looking for buying opportunities here on gold as well. And even if we continue lower short term, I'm still not going to be looking to sell. You know, I'm only looking for buying opportunities. And, you know, I believe that we're going to eventually break above this 3,450 level and continue higher. So we definitely have enough profit potential to start looking for buying opportunities. Okay, so looking at the 15-minute time frame here on the 61.8, we've actually got this one is looking pretty decent. Okay, so we have this downside move, then we have kind of an indecision candle, and then we have a nice bullish engulfing candle, as you can see on my screen. So I would normally expect for price to continue higher now. Maybe if we have another 1 hour candle, bullish candle closing above the previous 1 hour candle, well, then this is going to be a good enough signal as well, because you're going to have the same pattern that we just saw on the 15-minute time frame. You will have the same pattern here on the 1 hour chart, and having such a pattern on the 1 hour chart is obviously a much stronger signal compared to the lower time frames. um, but anyways, we're not going to rush with any entries. We're just going to leave it as it is and see how it goes. And by the way, it's not just euro, dollar, pound, dollar, and gold. We also have and talked about opportunities on dollar yen, on euro Aussie, you know, even euro pound. All right, some of the cross pairs are also looking pretty decent. Now, all of that is in the premium Telegram channel. For those of you who don't know, the premium Telegram channel is where I'm sending out daily videos before the London market opens from Monday to Friday, every single day. And I'm giving you key levels, potential profit levels, target levels, potential stop loss levels, you know, market direction. And it's not just those instruments, right? It's all of those instruments. We're talking about the majors: euro dollar, pound dollar, Aussie dollar, dollar yen. We talk about yen, pound dollar. No, excuse me. Yes, pound yen, euro yen, Aussie yen. You know, most most of the cross pairs, as well as all the majors, and also including Bitcoin and gold. Okay, all of that is in the premium Telegram channel, and you can get that information every single day. Okay, if you are interested, obviously you can send me a message, or you can just go over to our website trendlineforex.com and you can request access from there. But let me just send you the right here. This is a link where you can send me a message. So if you are interested, let me know. And for those of you who are currently watching live, I'm also willing to give you a discount as well. So, just send me a message. That's all. But anyways, like I said, we've got Euro Aussie. So, I'm going to give you a hint. Open up the chart and maybe look for selling opportunities. All right. Same thing with Euro Pound. And dollar yen is actually looking pretty decent, but we will have to give it a bit more time as well. So let's see how it goes. What about you guys? Do you currently have any setups or any trades? I think I did say um, in the premium Telegram channel just before the news yesterday that, well, the morning before the news, I mean, um, that it's probably best to not enter any trades right before the news, or for those out there who already had some positions running into profit, to either close those trades, maybe close a part of those trades, but definitely move their stops to break even. So I don't know the way you do it, but how do you proceed? Let's say you have an open trade and you are in profit, but there are high impact news coming up, and you know that if there is a spike in price or if there is a sudden move, it can take you out. Okay, or maybe at least price could go back to your break even point, and you can potentially lose a profit that, let's say, you've been waiting for the past couple of days. How would you proceed? What do you do? Do you close your trade before the news? Do you let it run, or at least move your stops to break even? Curious to know. A lot of people are kind of confused when that happens, but it's because, in my opinion, because they don't have a good plan, a strict plan that they can follow with their trades. And this is very important. You should know, it must be in your plan to know how to react to whatever happens in the market, right? Especially when you are in a trade, because that's when it's stressful. If you don't have a trade open, you can, watch NFP or CPI or interest rates without being bothered at all, right? You're not risking anything. What else do we have? We also have the yen cross pairs. So, for example, euro yen and pound yen. Um, I don't really like price action, and where we currently are. The levels that we're trading at. If I have to say in which direction the market is going to go, I will say there is a higher probability that it will continue higher. But it doesn't mean that I have any entries right now. Ideally, I wanted to see price coming a little bit lower at least, right? Maybe still not break below this recent low, but I wanted to see price action a little bit lower. However, if we see that reversal here and then price goes up, testing the previous highs, it would make sense because at the end of the day, we are testing previous structure right here when you look to the left. Okay. So anyways, I don't really have any entries. I don't really want to trade the yen cross pairs right now. We've got kind of a deeper pullback here on pound yen, but then you look at the 4 hour time frame, it doesn't look as strong as euro yen, right? And that is the reason why we didn't get such a strong pullback here on this pair. So anyways, we're most likely going to see a bullish move to follow, but I'm just going to leave it as skip those pairs, and I'm not going to be looking for any trades here. With time you become a lot more patient, and whenever you've got a decent setup that you just have to wait for it to develop, you don't really want to take any other trades. It's like being a sniper. I mean, a lot of traders have said that. Okay, so you see the right opportunity, you know what you need to wait for, you know what price needs to give you in order for you to pull the trigger. You just gotta wait, and that's all. And that actually pays best, because otherwise you pay to the market for your mistakes if you're rushing into trades without really following your plan, or if you're taking trades that are really not the best trades and you kind of know it. You know that something could potentially happen here, so let me enter. These are wrong trades, all right? This is a mistake. Do not do that. It's the same on pound yen. I kind of think that we're going to see a bullish move to follow. So it's very easy for me to now enter a trade, right? And expect for price to continue higher. But I mean, I've been looking at euro yen and pound yen for the past few days, for the past several days actually, and there wasn't a single day where I thought that right here is where I should enter. So every time we form those lows, I was expecting to see a continuation to the upside, and eventually that's what happened. But it's fine. It's fine. We can't win them all, right? All right. Even though the 15-minute time frame was looking quite well on the 61.8 retracement here on gold, you can see that immediately we've got a bearish reaction as well. I do like the 4 hour time frame on pound dollar though. Euro dollar is also looking good with the retest of this level. Remember, short term, we are expecting for price to continue down to around 1.1380. And that level for pound dollar will be 1.3330. Okay, so we'll follow price action, see how it goes. But ideally, I would love for that to happen because it's eventually going to give us a better entry level in the higher time frames. We're going to be able to buy at a lower price, right? I'm just looking at the dollar index, and so like I said, if you look at the majors that are traded against the US dollar, we're expecting a little bit more of a downside move and then a reversal back to the upside. So a weak US dollar to follow. And that makes a lot of sense because we are pretty much trading at those previous highs up here. Okay, this area right here. So we now have a decent reaction on the 4-hour time frame, but we can do something like this where we've got one last pullback and then a downside continuation. So if we look at that on the 1-hour chart, we may be looking at something like this and then a bearish move. Of course, that's just a guess, but it's a very convenient place for both the dollar index and the majors, as it is. Because overall, I'm expecting a continuation of this bearish trend, and you can clearly see how well this bearish trend has formed, right? It looks like we've got a breakout here, but with all the fundamentals kind of confirming our idea, it's hard to believe that right now we're going to see a full trend reversal here on euro dollar, pound dollar, gold. I don't even think gold will, reverse the trend anytime soon. You guys let me know if you want me to check out any other pair. And remember, you can send me a message, you can send me a screenshot of your charts, of your trades, of your setup on via DM. All right, you can join the free Telegram channel, or you can just send me. I've already posted the link in the chat box. What's good, Rashan? How is it going? What level did you say? 3,298. Is that what it said? We're talking about gold, I guess. 3,298. All the way down here, you think? Well, if we have such a pullback, I think this is going to be even better for me because I'm only looking to take a buy trade here on the higher time frames. I don't know whether we're going to be able to drop all the way down there. I would say maybe down to around 3,300. But let's see, let's see. That could be the case, you know. All I know is that I'm not entering a trade before I see a good enough reversal for me, something that works for me, you know. Because what I said earlier was that best case scenario would do not break below this low. I mean, 3,000, the level that you mentioned is pretty much the lows here. It doesn't mean we're going to break below it, but I would really love to see a higher low, just another higher low. This is going to be a really strong confirmation that, you know, we're going to see a continuation of this trend. Is it gold the only instrument that you trade, Rishan? Any other instruments? So what, do you currently hold a short position then? What do you mean 4,446? Yeah, I guess you mean 3,446, right? I managed to get a short trade right from the highs. That's great. That's awesome. That's a really good trade. I don't even know how you take a short trade right here. It's probably just because we took out this previous high. I understand that, but what confidence you must have to enter a short trade on gold pretty much at all-time highs. But well done. That's a great one. All right, I understand. Okay, I see. So what is your okay, I was just gonna ask for how long do you usually hold your trades, but you said just for a few days. That's good. A lot of people struggle to hold trades for that long. Um, Maximum a week. Okay. Yeah, I can imagine you probably have some experience already. You've been trading for a while, right? If you are able to hold trades for that long, this is good. So, Rishan, how many trades would you say you have on average every month? Let's say, I guess not many, right? Well, I'm not the kind of person who sit in front of the trade all day and can do some analysis. If all okay, take the trade, come back every day to look. That's great. This is probably the best way to do it, honestly, in my opinion, right? By the way, I think you may be interested. I think I have something that is going to fit your trading style perfectly. I don't know if you've seen it, but check out the volatility trading system. I've got a full webinar recording here on YouTube. You know, to kind of understand more about the expert advisor, but it's exactly for people like yourself. Um, so you do your analysis and then let the EA do the work, and it basically automates your analysis. It's not one of those bots where, you know, we don't promote it as one of those bots where you just attach it to your platform, MetaTrader or whatever, and it starts making money. That This is not how it works. The expert advisor is for people that actually have experience, they have their own analysis, they know what they expect to see, and so you just set up the expert advisor to execute the analysis that you have. It's actually very suitable for traders like yourself. Definitely check it out if you go on this YouTube channel, Trendline Forex Global. It's called Volatility Trading System. I think the title was Money Never Sleeps. It's about a 50-minute long video because it's a recording from a webinar, and we've got a lot of people using it already. Uh, so I think you may be interested in that. I'm trading for like 2 years now. I tried scalping day trading, but they're too much for me, so I set up for swing. What was the name again of the video? That's a big rejection right there. A big rejection, isn't it? I know, I know. So let me just, I'll grab the link for you very quickly. So here is the video, and this expert advisor is performing best on gold actually. So that's why I'm saying it's actually something that, you know, from what you've just told me, I feel like this may be the right tool for you. It's definitely going to save you a ton of time. You're not going to have to trade more. In fact, you're probably going to have to trade less, because the expert advisor does all the work. You just have to observe it and, you know, change the parameters, the settings every now and then if you have to, right? If you can't watch it now, just save it for later. Check it out later when you've got some spare time. Yeah, it's a bit of a long one, but this is back when, because we've been developing this expert advisor for the past over 2 years now, I believe. And this is when we launched it for the public. So I had to do a webinar to explain how the expert advisor works. But then it's not just that. If you are interested, there is a completely free course on the expert advisor, how to use it, how to set it up, what kind of parameters are included in the expert advisor, all of that thing. It's on our website. So I'm not selling you a course or anything like this. Like I said, it's a completely free course. All you got to do is just to sign up on our website with email and password, and then you get access to the course. So, first watch this video if you are interested. There is a link below the video that I send you. You can then follow that link. It's going to take you to our website, and this is where you can find out even more about the expert advisor. You can see some results, verified accounts on my FX book, all of that stuff. And if you are interested, then I would suggest to go through that course. It's a short one, 20 videos, I believe, like 4 or 5 minutes long. uh, and yeah, and then if you are interested, obviously we can take it from there, and we can show you even more results. But even my last videos on YouTube here on this channel, my most recent videos, not the live sessions, but the videos, I show results of the expert advisor, how it trades, how much money it makes each month, and stuff like that. Every week you can follow all that on this YouTube channel. All right, so it does look like we have a big rejection here at the 61.8. I'm from Bulgaria, Eastern Europe. What about you, Risham? So ideally, I want to see price coming down a little bit lower here on euro dollar and pound dollar. And remember the levels that we mentioned: 1.3330 for pound dollar. Okay, I don't even know if we're gonna get there, but 1.1380 for euro dollar. And like I said in the beginning of the session, gold may give us the entry much sooner rather than euro dollar and pound dollar. Okay, so keep that in mind. And we are already testing and rejecting the 61.8. Now, I'm not saying it's time to enter a long trades, but just keep that in mind. I'm only looking for buying opportunities, and I want to see either the 61.8 or the 76.4 being tested and rejected. So right now, this is happening at 3,353. So for now, it looks kind of all right. We can then drop down to a lower time frame, see how it goes, but we haven't yet broken above this momentum right here. So right here we've got the beginning of this momentum, and if we manage to break above that and close above that as well, then this is going to be a pretty strong signal that maybe this bearish move is coming to an end. Okay, so we don't yet have that. I'm just showing you what are my thoughts and the way I think and the way I see things, right? Yeah, if I have to be honest, even though we have a pretty decent rejection of the 61.8, I feel like a lot of people may be getting tricked right now into thinking, Because trust me, a lot of people are entering long positions as we speak, just because we've got this kind of rejection right here. But you have to be more patient, you know, if you are going to be looking to take a buy trade. And same, if you are holding any short positions, whoever it is, if you see a signal like this, it doesn't necessarily mean that the market is reversing and you should close your trade. All right, really depends on where your entry is. Just like Rishan, for example, he's got his entry all the way up here, so there's no point just because of that to, start looking for or expecting a reversal right away. Okay, like I said, we haven't yet broken above the momentum here on the lower time frame, so we can easily see price doing the same thing and going back to the downside. The same way that we have a bullish momentum, we can now have a bearish momentum right here. Okay, so right now we do have some reaction, but it doesn't mean it's not our entry. It's not the time to enter a trade, at least in my opinion and the way I trade. I'm not trying to kind of, because if your trading plan says enter a trade, you should probably do that, right? So anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna end the session right here. Make sure to join the free Telegram channel, follow us on social media, subscribe to this YouTube channel as well, because I'm doing live sessions like this twice a week, every Tuesday and every Thursday. This is where we can talk, we can chat, and whatever kind of questions you've got regarding trading, you can ask those questions in the chat box, just like Roshan did. So yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Really appreciate that. And thanks for, joining in today as well. Join the free Telegram channel. Remember that we also have premium Telegram channel. This is where we talk about gold on a daily basis. Every single day, I'm giving you the direction for the day ahead. I'm giving you key levels and stuff like that. And so, not just gold, obviously, all of those instruments on my watch list. We're talking about cross pairs, major pairs. So if you're still struggling to find out what is the market direction every day and you're feeling lost, you don't know in which direction you should be trading, whether you should buy or sell, join the premium Telegram channel. It's going to help you a lot in your trading. And it's literally going to change your trading, because you will have the right market direction. So from there on, the only thing left is to find your entries. Okay, and obviously we can help with that. We've got a ton of educational content on our website, trendlineforex.com. If you need any courses or any mentorship packages, whatever it is, make sure to have a look at our website or just send me a message. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Rishan, which broker do we use? Our partners, I believe, are on our website, but I like to use 8cap mostly, also Think Markets, and we do have a couple of more options as well, but 8cap is probably the main broker that we currently use. Let me know if you're looking to switch to another broker. I will give you our referral link, and if you subscribe and obviously open your live account through our referral link, then I can let you join I can give you some time in the premium Telegram channel. I know you've got experience and all that, but XNES, how are they? Are they good? Yeah, they're quite big, I know, XNES. So anyways, I'm gonna end the session right here. We'll carry on with the chat next time. So remember, Tuesday is gonna be the next live session. I'll see you guys. You guys take care and trade safe and trade smart. All right, most importantly.